Instead of asking for funding like most YouTubers usually do, I'm just going to display the link on the side of this boxcar while I talk about a random opinion I have. In this case, I'll talk about the opinion I have on this police officer that walked into someone else's apartment and then shot the person. First of all, how can you forget where you live? I mean, even if the buildings look the same, there would have to have been some kind of indication that that wasn't your house, enough for you to realize and leave that building. For example, the actual number on the side of the door would definitely have been different since each apartment has its own number. And apparently it was on a different floor, so it would have had a totally different number. Apartment numbers are usually numbered in the 100 series on the first floor, the 200 series on the second floor, and so on. So that should have been enough of a clue that it was a wrong apartment building. And then there's a problem that she walked into the apartment and didn't realize that any of the furniture was different. I mean, if I walked into a house that looked exactly like mine, and my bed wasn't where it usually is, my TV wasn't usually where it was, you know, my others, pretty much anything I have is out of place, I would come to the conclusion that this probably is not my house, and I probably walked inside by accident. I actually made a mistake like that one time. I was looking for my friend, and he lived in a house where, in a group of houses where most of the houses look pretty much exactly the same, the only difference being the color at some times. So I accidentally walked into the wrong house, and as soon as I realized that, I walked out. But for some reason, she did not realize she was in the wrong apartment, and she ended up shooting the person that lived there. First of all, how could she possibly have felt she was threatened when the person was just sitting down watching TV? If I walked into my house and I saw someone sitting down watching TV, I would not feel threatened at all. I would want to know who that person is, but I wouldn't just pull out a gun and shoot them over it. Okay, I'm really tired of police officers playing the I felt like I was threatened card and then just shooting people in cold blood. I really wish this was not a country that always took the police officer's side in situations like this. Why does it take so long for police officers to get arrested when they shoot someone? And why is it that they never end up going to jail? It's really annoying. I think laws should be a lot stricter on police officers on when they're actually allowed to shoot someone. I don't think it should just be whenever they feel threatened, because literally that could mean anything. There should actually be strict guidelines that they have to follow, and if they deviate from those guidelines, it should be treated as them breaking the law, and they should get punished for it. Here are the guidelines I think they should have to follow. I don't think a police officer should be allowed to shoot someone, quote-unquote, whenever they feel threatened, because all too often I've seen in the news where they shot someone where a reasonably thinking person, a level-headed person that had common sense, could look at the situation and see that they weren't threatened. For starters, if someone is running away from you, I don't think that in any situation you could define that as being threatened. So any police officer that shoots someone that's running away from them should automatically be arrested and, if possible, jailed for that. In fact, I want to live in a country where police officers can actually go to jail for shooting someone in cold blood. Is there a country like that in existence? Because this is just ridiculous that a police officer can shoot someone that's running away from them, and they can claim that they felt like they were threatened and then just get off the hook for it. And in this situation, the guy was just sitting down watching TV and he got shot, and I'm pretty sure that she's going to get away with this because most cops do. And it really frustrates me. In this situation, I think she should have her precious gun taken from her, since she clearly isn't smart enough to know how to use it correctly. And would even shoot it at someone that's just sitting down and clearly unarmed. If we're being honest, I also think she should be fired for this. And she wants to use the excuse that she was tired. How can you be so tired that you don't remember where you live? And even if that's possible, how is it that the person being in that house doesn't give you the conclusion that you're in the wrong house and that that's actually someone else's house. I mean, isn't it more logical to assume that you made a mistake and went into the wrong house than it is to assume that there is someone in your house that somehow swapped all the furniture around to look like it was someone else's house? Like, I don't even know what kind of logic this person was running with, but it wasn't correct at all. And to be fair, I have accidentally climbed into the wrong car because I was tired. When I was at work, I was waiting for my parents to pick me up, and someone pulled in front of the building that had the exact same car as my parents, and I climbed into it thinking it was theirs. But as soon as I realized that the person driving was not my parents, I climbed out of the car. I didn't assume that someone stole my parents' car and then tried to kill them, because that would be idiotic. Now, when dealing with something as dangerous as a gun, you should take some sort of responsibility. And you should think before you use it. And if you're so tired that you can't think before you use a gun, then you shouldn't have it on you in the first place, in my opinion. I mean, imagine if someone was driving and they were tired and they ended up getting into an accident that killed someone. And then they tried to use the excuse, oh, I didn't mean to, I was tired. That makes about as much sense as what this person did. She shot someone in their own house, and then she tried to use the excuse that she was tired and accidentally shot someone. That's just ridiculous. I think she should have her gun taken away from her for that. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. This is a weird roundabout glitch I discovered on Trainz a New Era. For some reason, it keeps producing one vehicle, and then that vehicle keeps going around and around and around indefinitely, and there's no way to get rid of it. I tried attaching a road to it and trying to steer the vehicle off the roundabout, but it just keeps going down the roundabout and keeps turning around, and there's no way to stop it. This is on Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. Maybe they'll fix this glitch in the future, though. Oh man, this is so weird. I mean, the traffic usually acts weird in this game series, but I've never seen it do this before. Those railroad crossings in that thumbnail are some that I've downloaded online. I managed to get them to turn on, but I couldn't get them to turn off for some stupid reason. And the directions are in German, and I only know a little bit of German, not quite enough to read the directions and know how to use them correctly. So I ended up not using them. I downloaded a few others from the download station, and I'm also having trouble getting them to work. I'm not sure if it's just because it's on Trainz 2019, because I've had trouble getting railroad crossings in general to work on this game. But for whatever reason, I can't get these crossings to activate. Okay, what you see here are two groups of railroad crossings that I downloaded from the download station. The first group you can find by typing PW in the search engine. The other group you can find by typing XBUE in the search engine. Can't figure out how to get either of these groups of crossings to activate for the train. I mean, at first it seems straightforward. It looks pretty similar to the ATLS system, but for some reason it doesn't seem to work when I try to use it. And to this day, I'm not quite sure. I've been trying to get these crossings to work for days. Okay, this is the controller for the crossing, I presume. It looks like it could be. Okay, from what it looks like, you're supposed to name all the crossing devices, and then you're supposed to enter them into this controller and also tell the controller what type of device it is so it knows how to control them. And I'm guessing you do that for the triggers too if this crossing has those. Now, I'm going to show you the full process of how I controlled these crossings so that hopefully if someone is watching this video that knows how to use these crossings, they can tell me what I'm doing wrong with these, because I've been trying for days to get these to work and I've had absolutely no luck with them. Okay, I'm about to give this crossing a test run now. Well, that steam locomotive still has a floating wheel over it. Can someone please tell me why this floating wheel is here? Man, the game didn't save the horn I gave this locomotive. Oh well, I guess I have to edit it again. I actually made a custom horn for the Class 103. I also didn't save the horn I gave the ICE. Alright, time to test the railroad crossing. Well, that obviously didn't work. Well, there's that roundabout glitch again. So many close calls, but it's only a matter of time until someone gets hit at this crossing. Okay, I'm either going to try the other group of railroad crossings I downloaded, or try something else to see if I'm doing something wrong in this crossing. Okay, now I'm trying these types of railroad crossings that are also on the download station. The directions for these are in German, so I'm doing the best I can based on the tiny bit of German that I was able to understand, and I also had a little bit of help from Google Translate. However, Google Translate isn't perfect in translating languages, so there's that. Either way, based on the German I was able to translate, I'm going to basically make a bunch of educated guesses on how I'm supposed to operate these crossings. Then I'll try to use them and see if it works. I wish these crossings were compatible with the ATLS system, then they'd be a lot easier to program. There are some French railroad crossings that are compatible with the ATLS system, and even though the directions are in French, I can still get the gist of how I'm supposed to control them because I know how to use the system by heart. But this system is really difficult for me, especially since the directions aren't in English. I don't even really know what I'm doing, I'm just guessing and hoping it works. Man, it's really annoying when the game won't let you click on the track because the catenary is in the way. And now for another test. Wow, that's cool. The drivers are actually animated in the locomotive tabs. You know what would also be cool if you could program the drivers to rest their arms on the windowsill and wave as they pass the camera. But I'll take the animation for now. If this works correctly, the cantilever and one or two of the gates should turn on. Well, that doesn't seem to have worked either. I am really confused with how to get these crossings to work. There's that Kreisel glitch again. Kreisel is German for roundabout, by the way. Well, let's try something else? I honestly have no idea what I'm doing here. Well, I'm so confused. Well, that didn't work either. Okay, I'm starting to run out of ideas entirely. Like, I don't know what else I can try. Yeah. It would help if I could read German. I mean, if I was fluent in it. Let's just cut to the chase. Well, obviously, as you can see, that didn't work. Alright, this is going to be my last try, and if I can't figure out how to get these crossings to work by then, I will give up. Okay, maybe the triggers have to face the railroad crossing. Maybe that's how they work. I think I did once download a group of railroad crossings where the trigger had to point toward the crossing, so I'll try that and see if it works. I don't think it says that in the directions, though. Ugh, if only I could edit their scripts so that they were compatible with the ATLS system, but I don't know that much about scripts at all. So I have no idea how to reprogram them that way, even if it is possible. Let's try putting one of these green striped things on the ground. Maybe these have something to do with how the crossing turns on. Okay, this is the last test. If I can't figure out how to get it to work after this test, I'm giving up. The game wouldn't let me blow the horn because it was running too slow. Don't you hate when that happens? Well, if anyone knows what I did wrong when trying to program these railroad crossings, and if anyone can decipher this German for me so I can figure out how to use this intersection, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section, and I'll try to use these crossings again in the future. However, at this point, I'm giving up on them for now, since I can't figure out how to properly get them to turn on and off. By the way, it looks like Railyard is back, more or less. You can now click on locomotives and view them on this track, which is actually an idea I had in the past when they got rid of it on Trainz New Era. I was thinking about the idea of having something like this. In fact, I actually once tried to build a Railyard-like route so that you could place your trains on the track and test them. It was going to have a small airport, some water for you to test boats on, and some places for you to fly blimps and all that other stuff. And different types of tracks for different types of periods and different types of countries. But one fateful day, the computer crashed and I lost all the saved data on that route, and I lost all the will to work on it again because I was just so frustrated after that. But luckily, I don't have to worry about that now because they have this